What's up, guys? Welcome to the Put Me In Coach podcast.
Where we go beyond the headlines and deep dive everything NFL.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Andy.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. And we're back. AFC East.
It's happening. How are you?
Not much, bro. I had a lot of fun doing the last couple of divisions down south. This one's kind of a sore subject for me, this division.
Oh, man. You want to tell them why?
Last year, yeah.
Our parlay.
All right, so can I just preface this by saying we went 7 for 8 last year? Like, I feel like that's important for the division picks.
So not only that, but I think it's important to say, we picked the Rams over the Niners.
Huge.
We felt really good about that. We felt really good about the Bucks over the Falcons when everybody was like, "Oh, Kirko, it's Falcons time. It's Falcons time."
Yep.
We felt really good about the Eagles, even though the Cowboys were coming off a 12-win season.
Yep.
And Dak was healthy at that point. Who else? Who else do we feel really good about? That was like kind of Tampa over Atlanta, and I think LA Rams over the Niners were the two big ones.
Yeah.
That we were like, you know what? No, something ain't right here.
However, we bought the snake oil.
Oh boy, did we buy the snake oil?
We bought the MAGA hat.
We bought the MAGA hat fully.
We bought
it. We bought 4 MAGA hats. We bought all the MAGA hats. We bought the red one, the white one, the black one.
Yeah.
We bought them all.
Those of you
I'm gonna come.
Thanks. Those of you guys scratching your heads right now wondering what the hell we're talking about. We placed a bet last year. We did a preseason bet on just our picks for the division winners. We did all 8 divisions.
$10 bet.
Yeah, we placed a $10 bet, and the payout.
Paid out. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think it was like 13, 14 grand that we were going to split.
It was like 13.5.
Yeah. And we got 7 out of 8 divisions right. So we got all of them right, except for one, and that's this one, because last year we got conned by Aaron.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did, fully.
Oh, and it was so obvious that it wasn't going to be that.
It was so obvious it was going to be the Bills. It was so obvious it was going to be the Bills.
But we bought it. And I think, look.
Josh Allen, don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. And that's what this is all about, man. This year, I think we're really trying to learn from our mistakes. I think we're really trying to go on gut. And we wavered a lot on that pick. I mean, we were both liked Buffalo being in the playoffs. We both liked Josh Allen in the MVP race. So it wasn't a fade of Buffalo. I just think we felt like it was going to come together off of the Achilles and Breece Hall and Garrett.
That Jets roster last year was insane on paper. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, and we even predicted the Devontae Adams trade.
Yes, we did.
And somehow we got that right too. And then the team got worse after getting Devontae Adams, who was really good. It was just such a mind-boggling season. We'll talk about that when we get to the Jets. But look, if you guys want to click off, like, that's fine. I get it. But like, I did want to preface the pick last year with the fact that we got every other division right. So we have been hitting on these. It's just, I'm just so embarrassed. The stench of that failure.
Not even embarrassing. It just sucks because we would have had like, $6,000 to just kind of fuck around and play with.
And I needed it too, because it's just like, dang off. I mean, I'm 30 years old.
Who doesn't need to turn $10 into $6,000?
Yeah.
But whatever. We'll try again this year.
Yeah, and it's just brutal. So, I'm never picking the Jets again. And to kind of the last thing on this, what's really crazy about this division, and this is where like one of us should have taken control of the steering wheel when we were placing this prop bet last year and been like, wait a minute, hold on. This division is very, very unlike any other division in the sense that it is very much a monopoly. From 2001 to 2019, the Patriots won the division every year except for 2002, 2008, and that's it. So for 20 years, essentially, only the Patriots won. And since 2020, so since COVID, since Tom Brady left to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Bills have won it every single year. So 5 in a row. So the Bills are looking to make it 6. And that's where you just got to use your head and just be like a little bit more aware of like the division that you're picking, because it's not really like the AFC. It's not like these other divisions where there's parity, there's some up and down, there's other teams. This is a one team division. I don't know what it is. But that's how the AFC works. It's how it's worked for my entire lifetime now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's facts. I mean, I can't argue with any of that.
when
That's
you're
just
in
the reality.
when you're in the Tom Brady Patriots era, don't bet on any other team. And when you're in the Josh Allen Bills era, don't bet on any other team. I mean, I'm sorry to bury the lead, but that's what it is. I mean, this division is super interesting. But
That's true.
without further ado, you want to dive in?
I do want to dive in.
Is a disgusting.
Go Buck. Thank you very much.
I haven't quite worked out what I want to say as far as the record. So maybe we can figure this out as we're going, because I'm somewhere in this realm, I should say. But in 4th place, and this might be controversial, I have the Miami Dolphins. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to be terrible this year. I think I've kind of infamously sold my stock last year on our pod, and I said I was done. I said that was the opportunity in 23. They went into Kansas City, got killed, and it's kind of just been a shit show ever since. Teron Armstead retired this year. That's not good when your quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa. He got concussed again last year. Tyreek Hill is a mess and a nightmare of a person. You know, he comes out the last day of the season and goes, "Yeah, man, nope, that was my last game in Miami." You know, that's the type of leadership that you have going on in the building, which is that your star player thinks it's acceptable to step out and say that to the media 15 minutes after the season's over, which tells me that you actually have no leadership. And now it's coming out with this Jalen Ramsey trade that, you know, Jalen Ramsey wouldn't show up to practice, and he, you know, would be perpetually late to things. And Mike McDaniel, I always get this wrong.
That's
Mike
right.
McDaniel, right?
Mhm.
I always get him and McDonald's confused.
That's right.
Mike McDaniels said nothing about it, apparently. Didn't ever reprimand him, didn't ever, just, you know, hey, it's laxed, it's cool down here. But it sounds like the domino effect of that is that a lot of players don't respect him because he doesn't hold people accountable. So when your star players on both, not even just Tyreek, but when you have offense and defensive players coming in when they please, you know, Tyreek's getting arrested in the front of the stadium, Jalen Ramsey's coming and going as he pleases, and then is also demanding more money, even though he's, you know, 3-4 years past his prime at this point. I have to start looking within and looking at the leadership. And I think Stephen Ross is actually a good owner. But I don't think this is working. And I think it's going to fully blow up in their face this year. Offensive line is terrible. It got worse. Your best offensive line piece retired. I think the Kenneth Grant pick in the first round is not necessary. Like, you just took Chop Robinson last year. You would think that you would maybe take somebody to protect Tua, but no, we're just gonna go with a interior D-line guy for some reason who's good, but I don't know. I didn't like that pick, and I mean, I live 15 minutes from Ann Arbor. Kenneth Grant is not. I've watched a lot of Kenneth Grant. He's good, but I think he may possibly be a bit of a Mason Graham merchant. So we'll see how that plays out. But I didn't like that pick in the first round. I just didn't. I don't like, not for them at least. You know, a team like Detroit who went with Tyleik Williams, that makes more sense to me because you're playing alongside an Aiden Hutchinson, you're playing alongside an Aleem McNeil. This doesn't make sense to me. You have a quarterback who is I mean, again, we've said it for 3 years now, and he keeps coming back. But he is truly one hit away from having to medically retire. And I know people will say, well, that's every quarterback. Not really. Tua, at some point, if Tua gets another concussion, it's starting to get to like a very dangerous territory. So I look at this team and I go, okay, I don't think there's any leadership. I think the protection is mid at best. Tua, I think, is actually a good quarterback. He's like a really fascinating quarterback to me because when he's not there, they're terrible. But when he is there, they're just okay. So it's like he's definitely a good quarterback, but he's not good enough to rise this team above. Tyreek's a diva. Jalen Waddle has been a complete letdown in my eyes for where you took him. And I don't think the running backs can succeed if this O-line is as bad as it is. So I don't know. I mean, you can push back on me if you want. I think they're like a 5 or 6 win team, maybe even 4. I just don't see it. I don't see the path to where this team is going to be any good. I think Mike gets fired probably halfway through the season. I think Tua will 1,000,000% get concussed again. Because he's kind of low IQ when it comes to like protecting himself. He just does like dumb stuff all the time. And I feel like Tyreek is going to get frustrated and like publicly ask for a trade by like week 4. And it's just going to fall apart. So I don't know. What say you?
Well, I wanted to give you the floor on purpose because I wanted to give you credit for last year's preemptive strike on this football team that I was behind on. And to be honest, I don't feel like I give you credit enough when you nail things like this. And when we were thinking about this video, I was like, I really want him to talk about this team first because you saw it before I did. And I was thinking about that because I'm like, well, this guy doesn't watch more football necessarily than I do or have like a depth of knowledge more than I do per se. I'm not saying it's more or less, but you know what I mean. So why is it that this person was able to see this before I was? And I didn't have them as some high team, but they were kind of a play-in bubble playoff team for me last year. And for you, it was like, hell no. And you were right, I was wrong. And I thought about this as to kind of like where my bias is coming into play with this team in the past. And by the way, I agree with everything you just said. Tyreek, it's getting a little Antonio Brownie for my liking. It's getting to the point where I want this guy to kind of have his internet access revoked type of stuff. It's looking weird, man. And it's the Jalen Ramsey stuff it's been talked about, but it's also very telling. And I think for me, this coach and this football team is such a cautionary tale, not just for football, but for my own life. And I think it's why I've had a hard time wrapping my mind around it. The reason being is because I relate to this coach. This coach feels to me like someone that I could, people always say that, like, oh, I could grab a beer with him. He feels like the kind of guy I could grab an e-cigarette with and hang out and talk football.
100%.
Like
he does seem like a cool guy.
He does, but it's beyond that, right? Like the thing about him is it's everything. It's the style, right? It's wearing off whites on the sidelines. It's vaping. It's being young. It's looking at this team and going, what if we just acquired Tyreek and had Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Devon Achane as the fastest 3 guys on the field running motion on every play? Do you think teams would be able to cover that? And everyone just kind of going, no, dude, that's ridiculous. And then you hang 72 on Sean Payton.
Yeah, totally. And all that is great, and it worked obviously, but it was completely predicated on protecting Tua.
Well, I'm getting to that, right?
Entire line walk. I mean, it was insane.
But that's the thing. So, when you zoom out of it, I think that the cautionary tale for me and for my own life and for this team and just for football fans in general is sometimes what gets you there is the very same thing that turns on you when things go sideways. And one of the big things I've talked about, like I come from a family that has like addiction problems, and I was very inspired by seeing his story of losing his big break as a coach years ago because he was drinking, and he literally like fucked his life up completely, and he wasn't supposed to get a second chance, but he did. And he took what he learned from a great coach like Shanahan, and he reinvented offense for a couple of years. You guys can say whatever you want. He did that. The problem is, you said all of it in the beginning. The very, very thing, the young, the fresh, the cool, the hip, the I don't really care, the joking around, the nonchalance, it has unraveled this team. And he's gone from being a darling to being someone that everybody, every single person who has a pulse and cares about football has put on their hot seat. And I don't need to rehash everything you said because you laid it out beautifully, as you did last year, and I give you credit for that. But I'm with you at 5-12. I think that this team is completely unraveling, and the lack of verticality, just to pivot to X and O's real quick, because I know people are a little less interested in sometimes the metaphors or the big picture stuff. The X's and O's are bad. You don't have a secondary. You have a defensive line that consists of the most unreliable yet exciting players like Phillips, Bradley Chubb. Chop Robinson was great last year, but he's a rookie. He's undersized. There's not one single thing right now that I feel confident hanging my hat on with this football team. And, man, that's a scary place to be. Because I said it. They hung 72 on Sean Payton's head, which was like the most exciting game. I mean, it's just the fall off has been televised. I think we're in it. I think we were in it last year, and I'm with you, man. I'm not counting on a bounce back at all from this football team. And I think it, like you said, if Tua goes down, this offense is unplayable. Look, man, hats off for the points. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks when you have to do this with teams, man. But like, it's over. Like, it's done.
It's fully over. It's fully over.
Done.
It's fully over. It's fully over. It just is what it is. I mean, there's nothing more to like. I mean, Dolphin fans, you can come in the comments and dispute me and get mad at me, but I promise at the end of the year we're going to be looking at each other. I'm going to say, I told you so. Even if you win 6-7 games, it's not happening. I'm sorry. You're. Even if we're wrong about the placement, even if you don't come in fourth and you win 6, 7, 8 games, you're not at all a put together contending team. So where do you go from here? You've given a quarterback who's just not that good a boatload of money. Your 30-plus-year-old wide receiver is, being in his 400th assault case and being noisy and being loud, and you drafted this guy at, what was it, like 5 overall? Is that where Jalen Waddle went? 6 overall? You took him right in front of Penei Sewell. That was stupid. I don't know, man. This is just not it. This is not it. I like Achane, but I don't like him behind that line. I mean, who is on the offensive line? I couldn't name you anybody.
Lord have
You let
mercy,
these
I'm
guys
about to
walk 2 years
bust.
ago and get paid everywhere else, It's crazy. You don't let offensive linemen walk ever. You pay them whatever they want. You make it work. It's not how the NFL works. You don't, once you see, look at Philly's line. I mean, those guys have been there forever. You don't let good offensive linemen walk. So,
let's get a little controversial here. I mean, it's not
Sure.
controversial to us, but I think there's something happening right now, and we'll get to it. But at number 3, I have the New England Patriots at 8 and 9. The reason why I say controversial is I think people are having a moment right now with trying to predict darlingdom with this football team.
Yes.
And I understand why. I think this quarterback they drafted last year is really talented. I think this secondary is incredible, and that to me, that's the only unit that stands out is the secondary. There's pieces there. People like the culture change with Mike Vrabel. He's such a good fit for New England, and kind of when I think about the Patriots and Patriots culture, it's so up the alley of a guy like Mike Vrabel. You won Super Bowls with Josh McDaniels as your offensive coordinator. I get it. I really, really get it. And I understand that it's exciting, but I can't quite overlook how disgusting the play was on the field last year from this 4-win team. And not only that, but the offensive line was terrible. Now, you drafted a guy at tackle who I think is going to be a really great addition. Travion Henderson, I think, is going to be really great. Ramondre Stevenson had major fumbling problems last year. But I have an issue with just getting the stench of the offense out of my mouth last year. Your second-round pick, Jalen Polk, last year, 87 yards on 12 catches for 2 touchdowns. That was his stat line last year. In the following round, you took Javon Baker. He had 1 catch for 12 yards. Those are the 2 guys you drafted to be your next of kin at the wide receiver room. Now, you drafted Kyle Williams this year. You bring him in to try to be the weapon. We'll see. He's not Malik Neighbors. Stephon Diggs, once upon a time, yes. Are we in that once upon that time? I'm not so sure. He's on boats. He's with,
off a real bad injury too.
Yeah, he's with the fucking wet pee chick. I mean, he's doing drugs on boats. I think there's a path forward to growth. Like, I have them winning double what they won last year at 8 and 9. I feel like they're quickly becoming kind of people's like dark horse pick. And at some point, if everybody's saying dark horse, like, you're just a horse, and I have to talk about you as if you're a horse. And in the context of being a horse, you are not a horse. Not yet. And I think the amount of what ifs that I have to pencil in for this team to be, in my opinion, like a force in the AFC or compete with Buffalo, the list is too long for me to jump in and get my hands around this team, my arms around this team, and be like, I'm diving in, like I'm all the way. And people are they're just fired up. Like, the bros are really, really loving this. The bros are,
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
That's the bros right now when it comes to talking about Drake May and the Patriots. And I get it. I can be excited while also saying that, to me, this is a growth and development year for this football team, just to kind of see what they have and build this roster up a little bit. But I'll pass it to you because I do want to hear your thoughts. I feel like I'm sometimes on an island with this take, so just give it to me.
I really have nothing to add to that. You said it very perfectly and eloquently. It's just not like, I'm not even gonna get into the X's and O's. It's not time. It's not time for you guys yet. I'm sorry. This isn't how the NFL works. I love the staff they brought in. I love it. I mean, I love the staff they brought in. Mike Vrabel. You bring in Josh McDaniels, who is just such a good offensive coordinator. You bring in Tyrell, what was his name? Tyrell Williams, I think. We sniped him from Detroit. He was our D-line coach last year. And he was the Titans D-line coach when Vrabel was there. And now he's their DC. Like that, it's a great coaching staff. I'm not sure their GM's any good. I'll be honest.
I'm so with you, brother. I'm so with you.
I think you and me could have drafted Drake May. Polk looks like a full-blown bust. I'm not even gonna hold you here. I think there was other guys on the board who would have been a lot more interesting than him. I think old boy from Ohio State is good, not great. I think a lot of people are overrating him. I don't know. I saw him get shut down by by Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant.
Well, yeah, and also just from a GM's perspective, like I like the pick of Travion. I mean, we watched him at OSU.
I like it. I feel like a lot of people are really, really hyping it up, and it's like, let's see.
No, but like to add to your point about the GM shit, like, you also paid Ramondre Stevenson last year and gave him an extension, and all he did was fumble the ball last year. Yeah. Like, he was horrible. And it's not just his fault. I mean, the offensive line has been terrible, but it's just got a ways to go. Don't you feel like there's just some 100%. Things that have to happen?
No, 100%. I think the O-line, frankly, I think the O-line is still terrible. I mean, I think oh gosh, what's his name? Will
Campbell.
Will Campbell Foley. I mean, there's question marks about him. You know, small arms. Can you really play tackle at the NFL level? Is he gonna have to go in and play guard? You know, if you draft a guy, I personally, just to not think that I'm being a hater, I think Will Campbell's actually gonna be really good. I'm not worried about the arms. I think his footwork's really good. I think his size is really good. I think his heart is really good. You know, I mean, there's another guy who plays right tackle in Detroit who has small arms. He's a back-to-back first-team All-Pro. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where if he can just go in there and be that tackle that you need him to be, it's gonna make that line. It's gonna clean up a lot of that mess. But there is still mess there at the 4 other positions. So one guy is not going to flip around this whole unit. I think they're gonna play a lot tougher. I think they're gonna play. I mean, frankly, I just think it's gonna be like year 1 Dan Campbell kind of.
I think it'll be better than year 1 Dan Campbell, because I think they have a quarterback in there who's kind of a force multiplier, a little bit more than Jared Goff, where Jared Goff kind of has to be like.
But I guess I'm not talking. I'm talking about like mentality.
Yeah.
I think the mentality is good. I think they're gonna play tough. They're gonna play hard. They're not gonna be an easy out, but they're not gonna win very many games.
Yeah, I mean,
I have them at
guy,
7
we're
wins.
doubling their wins. Like, it's not like we're sitting here fading this team. I just, to me, 8 and 9 is just where I have them. Like, they're very much like the Carolina Panthers of the Northeast. Like, where it's just like, I like what I'm seeing, but like it's in the development stage.
There yet.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Let's just give it a minute. Let's just cool down with the expectations on these.
Yeah,
guys.
I like them at 7 and 10. I feel good about 7 and 10. I think that's where they're going to be at. I think that's where the roster's at. I think that's a huge step up if you're a Patriots fan, and there's a lot to look forward to moving. You know, looking at the future.
Yeah. Let's move on. I'm really going to try my best to not hold last year accountable, like, to this ball club right now, because it is such a flipped team.
Sure thing.
But I got a lot of hate in my heart for these boys for what they did to me last year, and the money that didn't hit my bank account in January because of these assholes. God, it's tough, man, because I lived in New York City for years. I've always had a soft spot for the Jets. So last year was kind of like my one time of being like, all right, I think I see it, and it just backfired so badly that now I hate this team. And it's not fair, because like this team really that we're seeing right now isn't really what we were seeing last year. But I could go through the recap. I'm not going to. I don't want to relive it. It's too painful for me. That being said, I think both of us like this team more than what we saw last year, which might sound crazy, but 8 and 9 or 9 and 8, what say you? I'm going to give you the floor to start. I have some takes I want to get off, but I want to kind of hear where you are. Do you have them at 8 and 9 or 9 and 8? We're both kind of right there.
I have them at 8 and 9.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what. Here's how I feel about the New York Jets. Clearly, I was very high on them last year. The only thing, I won't say the only thing, because a few things changed, but the core that I really liked last year is still there. You got the cancer up out of there with Aaron Rodgers.
But
you
now
got the
he's dead.
You got like R.I.P. Aaron
What
Rodgers.
a fail that was, man.
Yeah.
God.
It's a bummer, because I do like, I mean, Aaron's one of the best to ever play. I mean, he's been super fun to watch over the last 15 years, even if he was kicking our Detroit Lions ass. Like, he's just one of one, right? You know? So it sucks that it went that way, because we were obviously high on them last year, but you got that absolute effing joke of an offensive coordinator out of town. So that's a huge leg up. You bring in, Tanner Esgard, who was one of our guys in Detroit, who I was really thinking that Detroit was going to make him the OC. So that's where I regard it. I have him in high regards. I think he's one of the really good young minds in football right now, who was being mentored by Ben Johnson. So giving a guy like that Brees Hall and they went trenches again and me, I live and die by trenches when it comes to football teams. I think the better the trenches, the better the team. And they went trenches again in the draft. This O-line does not suck. I think when you give a coach like that weapons like Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, and Justin Fields, man, the sky is the limit. And I think they will ultimately go as far as Justin Fields will take them, which I think is around 8 wins. But then if I look at the other side of the ball, which everybody knows that defense has been, unreal the last couple of years. Now, DJ Reed left to go to Detroit. You lost, I think CJ Mosley retired. You got Jermaine Johnson coming off of an ACL tear. So there's a few more question marks within that. You got Bryce Huff left. Hassan Reddick came in, but then sat out all year and yada, yada, yada. So he's out of town. There's definitely question marks on this team. That said, I think Aaron Glenn is a true leader of men. I don't know really how good Aaron Glenn's X's and O's are. We had multiple times where we as Lions fans felt like he was getting really glazed for, beating up on the Titans, right? But then when it came to the Commanders game, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. So you're like, well, okay, hold on. Or Brock Purdy coming back and hanging, 23 unanswered points or whatever it was in the NFC Championship game. Like, we never talk about that, right? We just have the memes of Aaron Glenn sitting on the bench after, a master class versus the Colts. And you're like, well, I don't care about that. The Colts are not good. I want my DC to lock in when it matters most. So that was kind of my issue with Aaron Glenn when it comes to him being a defensive coordinator for my team. Now, the thing is I think he is very much a good leader. Those guys loved him. Those guys spoke so highly of him. So I think when he's the guy in the locker room and you don't have, like a Robert Salah, I think was a very passive guy. I don't think he was really a true leader of men, where I think Aaron Glenn, even to have the cojones to have Aaron Rodgers fly all the way out there just to tell him face to face, yeah, bro, we're going in a different direction. Kick rocks. That shows like, no, this is my show. You're not coming in here. You're not going to have, your little buddies come in and play on the offense and have your little buddy at offensive coordinator. This is my team now. So I need you to kindly fuck off and enjoy your flight back to wherever the hell you're going to be, because it ain't going to be here.
He's dead.
Fully. So I say all that to say, I think these boys are really going to start playing for Aaron Glenn. I think they're going to be rejuvenated. I think they're going to be refreshed. I love the fact that your best weapon on offense is Garrett Wilson, and your quarterback and him played together in college. They already have elite chemistry. If you guys remember those Ohio State teams, those two were a problem. So if that can translate even 60% to the NFL, I just think that they're going to be much like the Patriots. I think they're going to be a really tough out. I don't think they're going to be world beaters. I don't think they're going to, win a ton of games, but a couple of teams who think they're going to roll into the Jets and go into the Jets, and they're going to get their ass kicked and be like, well, damn it. That team is really hitting hard and did not give up. So that's where I'm at. I think they're going to come in second. I like them better than the other two teams. And I think maybe finally this team will at least get a stab at success.
Yeah, it's well said, man. Look, I don't really have anything to add. I think the limiting factors here are the limiting factors. I have question marks about Justin Fields' growth from the quarterback position standpoint, but I don't really have questions on his kind of force multiplier as a runner. And I don't really have questions about Brees Hall's versatility or Garrett Wilson. I do have questions about the receiver depth, though, because after Garrett Wilson, that boy's looking spooky on that depth chart. So it's not a great football team. We think we established that. But this, to me, we are overcorrecting as a football world this year about this team because of what happened last year. We're holding it against this group. And I'm seeing like 3-4 people have them down there as like a top 3-4 pick next year. And I'm
No,
so
that's
with you,
not gonna
man. I don't
happen.
see it. I
There's
think
too
this
much
team.
talent. There's too much talent.
Yeah, I think this team is going to be just okay. I think they're gonna win some games they shouldn't. They're gonna lose some games they should, and it's just gonna even out to kind of a 500 ball club that we stop the
Yeah,
year and go,
100%. They're
all right, what's next?
when
Like,
you have
you know,
no, I mean when you frankly when you have a team that has, Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, a good O line, you have Quinnen Williams, you have Sauce Gardner. You're not going to be it's impossible to be that bad unless Justin Fields like gets injured and you're rolling in with like Skylar Thompson or something. You know what I mean? Like whoever, I don't even know who their backup is because it doesn't matter, right? Like I think Justin Fields can be good. I mean, we saw Justin Fields with just like a mediocre O line in Pittsburgh last year, and he was winning games. And we saw Justin Fields win games with a terrible Bears O line. So Fields, his issue is that he holds on to the ball a little too long, and I think he struggles to read the field. But if he has good protection, I mean, it's all based on the O line. If the O line can put it together, which I think they can, I mean,
he's never played behind a good O line.
no,
Yeah,
never.
and
You're right. His running ability is second to none. I mean, he's like up there with Lamar as far as like running quarterback, and that's a problem, dude. Like Aaron Glenn himself couldn't. Why do you think he got him?
Yeah,
That dude gave Aaron Glenn problems.
no, I'm with you. I think the only way this team fails is if we put money on them, and we're not putting money on them. So I think they'll be okay. Yep. Oh, thank you. Yep.
But now he's dead.
Rest in peace, Aaron Rodgers as a Jet. It's over.
Love it.
I want to keep this next team a little short and sweet because we're a little long in the tooth here on time. And to me, I don't have a lot to talk about, but what I do have to talk about, I'll say, obviously it's Buffalo. We're picking Buffalo number one. I don't have a lot of time on this, guys.
End of conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these guys because we know what they are. We don't doubt what they are anymore. And nobody else besides them is winning this division unless Josh Allen tears his Achilles. And I'm not going to predict that because I'm not that much of a piece of garbage. Although I did pick the Jets last year, so I'm somewhat of a piece of garbage. I will say, I have them at 12-5. Does that feel good to you?
Yeah.
I want to raise a bigger question here. And this is maybe one that we have some homies that like the Buffalo Bills. I certainly like the Buffalo Bills. Like they just feel like a very Detroit-y, Buffalo, New York's kind of a shithole. Like we like it. We like the Bills. We like Josh Allen.
Shout out our boy Silas.
I know we can't. Yeah, right. I know we can't take him out of it, but just try to take him out of it. If we remove Josh Allen, and just walk with me on this, do you feel like this coaching staff and roster is correct to be surrounding the kind of all-world generational talent that we are seeing in Josh Allen right now, who obviously won the MVP last year? And before you answer, I'm just going to give my answer because I can't contain myself. Hell the fuck no. I actually don't think so. And we've talked about this, but it's my problem with when we look at a team, like we look at the other version, basically like the black guy version of the Buffalo Bills, which is the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, wow.
I believe in that coach. I believe in that front office. And I look at the roster and I believe in that roster. And I know they haven't been, and you know, the defensive statistics bear that out over the years. The close wins, the guys. I know Lamar hasn't had an all-pro wide receiver, but that's not the game he plays. It's not the game Josh plays. I'm not talking about bringing in DK Metcalf to Buffalo. That's not what I mean. Defensively, your coach is a defensive coach. I don't think you have a great defense. I think even okay defense. Sometimes they're good. They play with a lead. They can get downhill on you and make some plays. Offensively, I think your O-line's fine. I don't think it's great. Your receiving group is just okay. I mean, is Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid, is that
mediocre.
cutting it anywhere else? No.
Hell no.
James Cook's in a holdout. I think that touchdown stuff last year was a total anomaly. I don't think he's that great of a running back. I think he's a good running back. I don't think he's Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs. In fact, I don't think he's even close to those guys. I say all this to say that the reason why I'm keeping this short and sweet is because you have the division. We just talk about these jokers behind you guys. That's done. Forget that. Forget the Jets, the Dolphins. That stuff's, we're out of here on those guys. You guys are in the contender era now. So build a fucking contender, please, and win these games. Go into Arrowhead and win this game. Beat Baltimore in the regular season on the primetime games. And look, I don't know if it's this coach. I don't know if it's this front office. I don't hate the roster. I don't hate the coach. I don't even hate the GM. All of it just feels like if you take Josh Allen out of it, your team is the worst in the NFL. And that to me is a problem. I want to pass it to you to get us out of here, but I just had to kind of rant about that because we're not in that window anymore of where are they in the division, where are they in the AFC. They're winning the division, they're going to the playoffs. Josh Allen's going to be in the MVP race. Good. What's the rest of the crew looking like? And that's where I have a problem with this team right now. I just do. And I don't know. I want to pick them to win the Super Bowl, but what are you giving me besides Josh that I look at and I go, whoa? You brought in Joey Bosa to replace Joey Bosa, but a different template.
Yeah.
It's Von Miller is Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa is Von Miller. Washed, older, often injured guys who were sick a few years ago and can't stay on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pass it to you, but yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. I'm they're a little funky to me when it comes to some of these surrounding pieces, and I want them to be the Super Bowl pick, but they're not.
Stop getting tight against Kansas City. That's mine, and that's kind of my
Right.
that's kind of my thing with you guys. You have all the talent. I mean, shit, you came into Detroit and kicked our ass. I don't even care what the final score was. I know the final score was what, like 46-41 or something like that.
That game wasn't close.
That game was a blowout. It was not even close.
Yeah.
And I felt like we were the best team last year, right? And then these boys came in and, we had zero answer for Josh Allen. I mean, he's that good. Stop getting tight against Kansas City. You're better. You're a better team. You've shown that you're a better team. The 13 seconds game, that egregious QB sneak on fourth down last year. I mean, it was silly. Just go beat them. Just go beat them. You have the better quarterback. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to be the guy who he's the better quarterback. He always has been. It's just a matter of like Mahomes just doesn't get tight in those moments. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mahomes is really good, but he doesn't hold a candle to Josh Allen. It's not even a close debate, really. He is Superman. He is a guy. He is the Madden created player that we've talked about. I mean, he is. He really, he's stamina 99, running 99, throwing 99. Yeah, 6'6". Why not? 250 pounds, all muscle, right? I mean, he's a fake player.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable.
I'm gonna put cool flow coming out of the back of the helmet and make my franchise guy married to the chick from Sinners, by the way, while I'm piling on to accolades. Yeah, I mean, he's him. I'm with you. I'm not trying to say this team's not great and that the surrounding pieces aren't good and that the coach isn't good. I just don't feel like I don't like Sean
McDermott. I think McDermott, for being a defensive-minded coach, his defense has come up very short in the biggest moments.
Always against good offenses.
I really like Joe Brady. I mean, this offense has been humming since he took over. I think he is as good as an OC. But I thought that when he was at LSU. I mean, he went to Carolina and they were like, "Oh, he sucks," and I'm like, "No, Carolina sucks. Don't get it twisted. Carolina blows, not Joe Brady."
He's turned this offensive round by making them like an efficient run team. But do you love the pieces offensively? Like, are you in love with the pieces offensively?
I do think they're lacking like a true wide receiver one. I think that could be the difference, but I don't know who it would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
That's the issue, right? There's nobody who's really available. There's nobody, you can't like, this isn't Madden, right? I can't.
They don't grow on trees.
I can't take neighbors out of the Giants and put them on the Bills because it's better for everybody, right? It's just it is what it is. Like I like Khalil Shakur. I like Keon Coleman, but I think they're B minuses at best.
I
And
need Keon to take a step this year. I think
I
that's
don't think
maybe.
he's going to. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah,
I just don't.
you're a
I
big
don't know.
state guy, so you know that he's got the talent, but he's just
Yeah,
not.
he
He's not a
does.
great separator.
I don't. Yeah, he just isn't. He just isn't. And I want him to be, and I like him, and I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's a great player. And I want that. I need Stephon Diggs, but I need Stephon Diggs who gets along with Josh Allen. I need a guy who's gonna, respect his quarterback and go out there and catch the ball in the biggest moments, not drop it through his arms and then, go bitch and cry on the sideline and go to the media and have his brother tweet out stuff. It's like, nah, that's silly, dude. I want.
He bought himself a one-way ticket on get the fuck out of here train. That's hilarious. Yeah, he really played himself with that. Yeah.
No, he needs Josh needs like an Amon Ra, right? He needs a guy who's just going to go out there and hoop always and be a big supporter of him. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I think this team absolutely has as long as Josh Allen is there, the sky is the limit. I mean, you can win the Super Bowl with Josh Allen. He can wheel you there.
Yeah. But they gotta turn that corner, and I don't know what it is.
I
don't know if it's coach. I don't know if what it is. It might be a couple pieces. I don't know, but I'm with you. I've been waiting for that other draft pick and that outside of Josh Allen, that other draft pick and that other signing that I go, okay, now we got it. Now we're in. And it's just every year it doesn't come. Every year it's just kind of the same mid picks and reloaded, retooled. And it's like, okay, I guess Dalton Kincaid, why are you not better? I don't know. I just stuff like that.
I think they would be amazing suitors for Trey Hendrickson. If it doesn't work out, which it won't, by the way, because Cincinnati's a dumpster fire. You add somebody like that. I mean, I don't love their secondary.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, but we're pulling for the Bills, man. If it's not the Lions, I hope I want to see Josh get that ring. I've been 100%. Praying on it for years, and it hasn't happened yet. Kansas City's got your number. Hopefully that changes this year. Shit, man. That's everything.
Disgusting act.
Thank you. Let's get the guys out of here, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming through, and thanks for talking AFC East, baby.
Oh yeah, go Bills.
Peace out. Go Bills.
You want to go to the greatest high wire act on earth? You got mad game in the mad game, baby? You have nothing. I take your whole family on a vacation and leave you on planet clown. I'll give you some more. You want to go? I'll give you some more. I'm playing catch. Catch me if you can. I'll make you see purple in your sleep.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. Randy Moss has his game on. Do you? Madden NFL 2003.